107-97. They took a 2-0 lead in their best-of-7 series, and the struggles continued for James Harden in the loss. The star guard finished with just 10 points, 3 of 13 shooting, and committed 4 turnovers. Donovan Mitchell, though, he says he's not concerned.
You think of just little things, spacing, trying to get him easier looks. Honestly, just him just continue to be in attack mode, right? He's James Harden. We're not sitting here worried. He's going to figure this out, and we got to do a better job around him as well, whether it's spacing or put him in different positions, and we'll have that conversation. We'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
All right. James Harden had 2 points in the second half. Are you buying Donovan Mitchell's confidence in James Harden?
Maybe he is. I can't speak for him. I can only speak for me. I have zero confidence in James Harden in these situations. I first guessed this. I said, what do you do in Cleveland? He has a long history, as you well know, of playoff flameouts. Game 1 of this series, he was 1 of 7 from 3 with 7 turnovers. Game 7 last year when he was a Clipper at Denver. 9. He quit shooting. He played 35 minutes, 2 of 8 I got, and 1 of 4 from 3 was a minus 29.
Right.
Then I remember the Game 7 when he was with the Rockets against Golden State, 2 of 13 from 3. Remember that classic game, the Spurs at Houston? Remember
Game 6.
when Kawhi, and it was Game 6, Kawhi and Tony Parker didn't play, and he shot 2 of 11 and 2 of 9 from 3. And I remind everybody, James Harden still holds the all-time playoff record for turnovers in one game with 12. That was at Golden State in Game 5, way back when, 2015. So I could go on, but I don't want to eat up the show. Fire away.
I really, really don't. We look at players and we say Hall of Famers before they got there. All-time 75th team, that kind of thing. I'm going to look in the camera and I'm going to say this to James Harden. Your status is on the verge of being revoked. Somebody needs to tell him this. If Skip Bayless and others are talking about just bad games, that would be different. We're talking about 3 shot attempts in the second half, 0 points in the fourth quarter, more turnovers than baskets made last night on the road in Detroit. Now, we all know that when James Harden goes from one team to another, we know because of going from Houston to Brooklyn and, Brooklyn to Philly and, Philly, we know from past experience that when James Harden travels, goes to another team, there's usually money associated with it down the road. So there's promises that are made. You come here, we're going to take care of you, get your contract. This is what we're looking at or whatever. And then he shows up in the postseason, and there's some reluctance on the part of the team because it's like, that ain't what we signed up for. And when you look at Cleveland and you're anticipating James Harden with Donovan Mitchell, on paper, ladies and gentlemen, that is a lethal backcourt. The thing about Donovan Mitchell is whether he has a good game or a bad game, he's always Donovan Mitchell, meaning that he shows up and either the shots fall or they don't. Okay, when Harden arrives there, you've turned him into a catch and shoot three-point guy. I was listening to Antonio Daniels on NBA radio. He was making a very, very valid point, very salient point about James Harden and what it's turned Donovan Mitchell into, okay? But what I'm saying is Donovan Mitchell is Donovan Mitchell. James Harden, it's like it's an APB out for the brother when come key playoff moments. You're like literally looking for, like, where the hell is he? Yep. Okay, and Skip already pointed out some of the stats. I just gave you some of the stuff from last night. We know about his history in Game 7s, where in the last 4 or 5 Game 7s, you shoot like 27% from the field and 17% from three-point range. It's like, this is one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history, Shay and Skip. And the fact is, when you look at James Harden, what really, really gets scary is that it's the inactivity. Like, I'd have been happy if he was 0 for 12. Like, really? You're not even attempting shots? One of the all-time great scorers. As the moments intensify, you shrink? You scared to shoot? This is, it's unbelievable. And then Jay Williams pointed out this morning, the casual approach to it. Like, he's on the court, and it's like, It doesn't seem to be any urgency. We're watching. We're not talking about something that's happening in the privacy of your home or whatever. Thousands of people in attendance, millions of people watching. He's doing this in front of everyone. And everyone is saying the same thing. But you'll still have these idiots out here that want to support him and go, oh, you hate and you hate. Everybody's watching. We're looking at it. And we're saying, what the hell is this? It makes no sense because we know how great of a talent he is. But the more intense the moment is, the more historically. Skip brought up 2015. You could bring up 2014. You could bring up the 2012 and 2011 NBA Finals when he was a reserve and there was an APB out for him in South Beach because where the hell was he to help Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant? It's spanning a decade and a half where one incident after another, you can't find this brother in key moments. It's really scary. I don't know what that's about. But it's been happening too often, and it happened again last night.
You don't think there's any blame on the Cavaliers here? Like, given their playoff struggles last year, you bring in a guy with this kind of playoff resume that does shrink in these big moments. We shouldn't blame the franchise at all?
I don't know. That's what I said. What are you thinking? Don't you understand the history? And you reach back because he's a 3-time scoring champ and an MVP, and you want one blast from the past. Maybe he'll get us over the top. He gets nobody over the top. I'm to the point I trust Dennis Schroeder more than I trust James Harden.
Well, you know what? That is not a far-fetched thing to say. I would trust Dennis Schroeder more than I would trust James Harden. But you were anticipating that, okay, maybe if you don't have the responsibility of having to score because we got Donovan Mitchell, right, that at least you'd protect the basketball and be a facilitator. He's not even doing that. It's very alarming because this is not a dude, even at his age and his experience, that is devoid of the ability to do it, Shay and Skip. This is a dude that can do it and has done it. But for some reason, when the big moment arrives, you could have had a game 5 on a Friday and game 6 is on a Sunday, and you're literally double checking. Are we sure that's James Harden? Are we sure? Is this somebody that stole his jersey? Because it makes no sense how they look like two different players.
Detroit is going to be no walkover for your Knicks.
If Knicks have LG Anunoby, we ain't worried about Detroit. I believe. You watch your mouth. Don't start no trouble.
We'll get to the Knicks in a little bit. Still to come here on First Take. You know we got to bring up the Cowboys. It's been 31 years since Skip's favorite team won a Super Bowl. Why does his pain continue to delight Stephen A? I'm not really sure. Plus, Stephen A's Knicks, as we just talked about, they are flying high. Oh, this song. I hear it in my sleep. Why Skip thinks this will all come crashing down. More First Take after this.
Say go, New York, go, New York, go.